All right, so let's get right into it. Let's talk about the ultimate expert's trap. You know that moment when you realize the one skill that got you here, the thing you are an absolute rock star at, is now the anchor that's literally weighing your entire company down.
Oh, I have so been there. I mean, I was the founder, the lead designer, the head of sales. Pretty sure I was a janitor for a while. My business card should have just said Sam. I was so busy trying to be the best at the job, I completely forgot my actual job was to, build a business. Spoiler alert, that road leads to a whole lot of late night pizza and existential dread.
And that is exactly why today we are diving headfirst into The Entrepreneur's Paradox by Curtis J. Morley. And listen, this isn't just another business book. Think of it as a lifeline. It's the step-by-step guide to pulling yourself out of the day-to-day grind so you can finally start steering the ship instead of just bailing water with a tiny bucket.
So here is the paradox, and honestly, it is a bit of a gut punch. That superpower that made you successful in the first place, your amazing coding skills, your incredible design eye, your sales genius, that's about to become your company's biggest liability. It's the very thing that's chaining you to the floor right when your business needs you to be flying the plane.
And there it is, right there. That is the sentence that every single founder needs to print out and tape to their monitor. You have to fire yourself from your old job. You have to willingly give up being the star player so you can become the coach. It feels completely insane, but it's the only move that lets you actually win the championship.
The author calls this the swamp, and man, is that brutally accurate. You're knee-deep in mud, and you're wrestling these alligators of urgent emails, client fires, and that one printer that just never ever works. And from down there in the muck, you can't see the horizon. You can't see the big opportunities. All you can see is the next gator about to bite.
And this right here, this slide just nails the fundamental identity shift you have to make. So ask yourself, are you the artisan, the magician whose personal touch is required for every single trick, or are you the entrepreneur? The person who builds the whole stage and trains an entire cast of magicians to perform the show every night flawlessly, even when you're not there.
So, how do you escape this swamp? Well, you don't just run wildly for the exit. No, you have to strategically take down the biggest alligators first. So today, we're hunting the two deadliest beasts that keep founders trapped: the monster of wearing every single hat and the beast of 1,000 so-called great ideas.
Which brings us right to pitfall number 6, wearing all the hats. Ah, yes, the Chief Everything Officer. It's the title you give yourself when you're basically a micromanager who can't let go. But here's the hard truth. When you do everything, you end up doing everything kind of badly. You're not the hero, you're the bottleneck. And this number, 1,000, it leads us straight to that second alligator, pitfall 13, 1,000 great ideas. This is the entrepreneur's curse, for sure. Your creativity is a gift, but without focus, it just becomes a weapon of mass distraction. You end up with 10 projects that are 10% done instead of one project that's 100% changing the game. The book calls it priority paralysis, and it is absolutely lethal.
Exactly. That's it in a nutshell. You're halfway up the mountain on a clear path to $1 million idea, and then you get distracted by a different, shiny path off to the side. Chasing every single great idea is just how you burn all your fuel and end up stranded miles away from any summit.
Okay, enough doom and gloom about swamps and alligators. We've identified the predators, we know what they look like, now let's talk about the climb. This is the leader's ascent. This is the playbook for getting yourself out of the mud and onto the mountain, which is right where a leader belongs.
According to the book, these are the only 6 hats you should be wearing from now on. So forget chief email responder. Your real job is job number 1, see the vision at the top of the mountain so clearly that you can paint a picture of it for everyone else. And job number 3 is huge, clear the path. That means removing roadblocks for your team, not becoming one yourself. You're the architect and the bulldozer, not the person laying every single brick. And this slide right here, this is the whole game. Seriously, tattoo this on your brain. Your job isn't to be the best person building the sandcastle. Your job is to recruit, train, and empower an entire army of the best sandcastle builders on the planet. And notice how micromanage the placement of the little flag on top is not on that list.
All right, we've gone through the theory. Now let's get tactical. This is where the rubber really meets the road. We're going to give you a dead simple, absolutely non-negotiable first step you can take tomorrow morning to start your journey from doer to leader. This is it.
This is your mission for tomorrow. Find one task, just one, that you are clinging to for dear life. Find someone on your team who can do it 80% as well as you can and hand it over. That 20% difference you're so worried about, that's not a performance gap. That is the price of your own freedom. Pay it.
And this is the question we really want to leave you with. Once you delegate that task and you free up that time, what are you going to do with it? What is the high-value, game-changing work that only you can do? That's not just a question. It's the key that unlocks your company's entire future.
And that's your masterclass on escaping the expert's trap. Now go on. Go delegate something.
And hit that subscribe button because we've got a lot more secrets to share. Unless, of course, you just love the smell of alligator-infested swamp water in the morning. Your call. We'll see you next time.